What it do? What it do? Guys, welcome back to another reaction with 876 React. So, today, we're going to be doing something a bit different. We're going to be reacting to a Ray Williams Johnson video. If y'all don't know him, he's one of the he gives some of the most craziest story time. Uh, let me see. We're going to be reacting to this one.
An essay on cats. Cats in art history.
So
I'm an art history major.
let me give y'all the craziest story. I actually was trying to do the video early on. I thought I was recording, but it wasn't recorded. So I already watched the video, so I'm just gonna be doing it over just for y'all guys, okay? But anyways, the title of the video is he kidnaps a celebrity. So I'm not gonna be wasting any time. Let's just get straight into the video.
Idea to kidnap Frank Sinatra's son. Now, the story all starts with this guy, Barry. And Barry is 21 when all this begins, and he's living in Los Angeles. And Barry, he's actually doing pretty well for himself. He's a stock trader, making decent money, living a good life. But then, one day in 1961, the worst thing happens to him. Because he's driving along.
I always the youth them, the good youth them, where I go to work every day, come from work every day, and I live a normal life. Some always happen to them for turn them to the villain in the story. Just check out all the story them with a villain in it. Them was always a good youth, you know.
Along one day, and kaboom, he gets into a really bad car accident. And I guess this messes him up pretty bad, and he has to take painkillers so he's not in pain all the time. And then he ends up getting addicted to those painkillers. And because of that, he loses his job, and he eventually ends up losing all his money. So now it's 1963, and Barry has a problem. He's broke, he's addicted to painkillers, and he's desperate for money. And at this point, he'll do whatever it takes to get some. So that same year, he comes up with one of the more insane ideas I've heard since I started storytelling. Why not kidnap someone and hold them for ransom? Oh, but not just anyone, someone famous. And he decides to target
All just for a high. You sit down and you come up with such a diabolical plan just to get some painkillers, bro. It's
Frank
crazy.
Sinatra's, the singer, his son. Now, Barry is new at this
Easy
whole
money.
kidnapping thing. He has no idea how to hold someone for ransom, and he figures he'll need some help. So he recruits two goons to assist him, and he offers to pay them $100 a week. And together, the three of them come up with a solid plan to kidnap Frank Sinatra's son. Now, Frank Sinatra's son is this guy, Frank Sinatra Jr., who we'll just call Junior. Now, Junior is 19 years old, and he's just starting to make a name for himself and launch his own career as a jazz singer, and he's like touring all the time. So Barry and the two goons, they start tracking Frank's performance schedule, and they follow him from city to city, because they're gonna kidnap him while he's on the road performing. That way he'll be more vulnerable.
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, we need to
Now, at one point, Junior is scheduled to do a show at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. And so Barry calls the hotel and he asks if he can get Junior's room number. But the hotel's switchboard operator tells him that someone just assassinated the president, John F. Kennedy, because the JFK assassination had just happened and it's all anyone is talking about. But this makes Barry realize that he can't just kidnap Junior now. It won't get the news coverage that he wants because the JFK death is dominating the headlines, which could mean the ransom won't be as high. So they wait. And 2 weeks later, the noise has died down a little, and Barry decides to try again. And by this point, Junior's tour lands in State Line, Nevada, where he's doing a show at the Harrah's Club in Tahoe. So that night, before the show starts, Junior is just hanging out in his hotel room with one of the musicians in his band, and bam, 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 someone knocks on the door. And so Junior answers it, and it's Barry and one of the goons. and they're pretending to be delivering a package. But then, suddenly, boom, Barry pulls out a gun, and Junior's like, oh shit! Then Barry and the goon blindfold the guys, and they tie up the musician
Hey, Junior supposed to want shit nine pants, yeah, so. When Barry and the goon pull up on him. Oh God, man.
friend, and they walk Junior out to their car. Then they force him to take a couple of sleeping pills and some whiskey, and they force him to lay down in the back seat, and they flee the scene. Meanwhile, the musician friend they tied up is able to free himself, and he finds the tour manager, and the tour manager contacts the police. And pretty quickly, the police and the FBI are crawling all over the Lake Tahoe area, like they got roadblock checkpoints set up because they're looking for Junior. And Barry and his goon, they actually get caught up at one of the roadblocks, with Junior still passed out in the back seat. And Barry knows that police at the roadblock, they're looking for 2 kidnappers. So while they're waiting in line for the checkpoint, Barry has the goon low-key jump out of the car and sneak off into the woods. So when Barry pulls up to the checkpoint, police only see him in the car, along with a guy in the back seat, passed out, kind of underneath a blanket. And so Barry's just like, yeah, that's my buddy back there. He had too much to drink. And police believe him, and they let him go, and he makes it.
Bro, let me move the fun. This is just crazy. Like, how comes una look for a person will get kidnapped as police were located at a checkpoint without even a picture of the person that y'all be looking for? Let me know, isn't that just crazy, bro? That's just crazy, bro.
Through the checkpoint. Meanwhile, Frank Sinatra finds out that his son has been kidnapped, and he immediately flies to Reno, Nevada to help get this sorted out. And the FBI sets him up in a hotel, and they tell him to wait for a ransom call because they're certain there's going to be a ransom call. The FBI's plan is to wait for the kidnappers to call, then pay the ransom they ask for, and then track the money, and that will lead them right to the kidnappers. Now, eventually, Barry and the other 2 goons, they meet up at their hideout, which is just a rented house in San Fernando Valley. But once they get to this house, they're watching the news, and they learn that Frank Sinatra is in a hotel in Reno waiting for a ransom call. So one of the goons calls the hotel, and they put him through to Frank in his hotel room, and the goon gives him a ransom demand. And immediately, Frank Sinatra is like, I'll give you $1 million if you just give my son back. But the kidnappers, they don't want $1 million. I mean, they're worried it'll be too much to carry and launder, so they turn this offer down. Instead, they all agree that $240,000 will be enough. And this is actually a great deal for Frank Sinatra, because $240,000 during this time is not a lot of money to him. So he somehow gets that much cash, and he gets it ready to deliver. But the FBI, they've been through scenarios like this before, and they start photographing every single bill beforehand. So now they have the serial numbers of every dollar documented, and the money is easily traceable back to the kidnappers if those kidnappers happen to start spending it. Well, eventually, an FBI courier takes this big bag full of money to Los Angeles, and they drop it off in a place where the kidnappers told them to, which is the parking lot of a gas station in between 2 parked school buses.
Guys, a mosquito that, you know? So sorry about the fun. It's a mosquito that, you know, guys. I mean, I tell you, see the boy get way, you know? Him bite me at, you know, man. But them your money are in a, alright, like these guys that are in the story, they're so, like, bro, oh, them so fool. Oh, them so fool. Them get $500,000 and them turn down that offer because they're saying that it's gonna be a lot of like too heavy to bring. If you're not willing to do the work, why you not risk it then? Eh? When that $1 million they could have literally make you disappear. Go hide in a bat, hide in a body. Oh, let's see what happens.
I don't know why they chose that, but that's where they chose. Then, Barry and one of the goons, they go and they pick up the money. While back at the hideout, the goon who's supposed to be watching Junior, he starts to panic and feel kind of guilty because he's certain that they're ultimately gonna get caught.
Too
So he
Freddy
suddenly
Freddy.
gets Junior and he just like drives him out to a freeway and he drops him off and he tells him that he's free to leave, even though the goon has no idea if Barry has gotten the ransom money yet or not. But from there, Junior walks several miles until he eventually makes it to his mother's house, where he's finally safe.
Hey, when Junior boy reach home, man, I know Junior boy supposed to run and hug up mommy in her arms, chargy. Eh? Jesus Christ.
But by this point, Barry, he's picked up the ransom money, and he and the goons have completely gotten away. So it looks like their crazy plan to kidnap a celebrity's kid actually ended up working.
Until.
Until a few days later. One of the goons ends up confessing to his brother about how he was one of the guys who kidnapped Frank Sinatra Jr.
Almighty
This has
Christ.
been all over the news. And so then his brother goes and he turns him in.
Sell him.
And so, bam, the goon
Yeah,
gets
man.
arrested. Here's his
Sell him,
mugshot.
man. Sell him
Then,
out.
bam, the other goon gets arrested. Here's his mugshot. And of course, bam, Barry gets arrested. Here's his mugshot.
3 men were arrested, including Barry Keenan, a 23-year-old unemployed salesman.
And so one goon gets sentenced to 75 years in prison, the other goon gets life in prison plus 75 years, while Barry also gets sentenced to life in prison plus 75 years.
No, man. The whole of them man, their life done, you know, brother.
To the point where literally
Come off my screen now, you with a way, man. All of them man, their life done, brother. Be a 75 years, the man, them get, bro. You know, see that be? Life plus 75 years. That's not crazy because them stupid too, bro. But I'm now go to jog out the video, guys. No longer than it's supposed to be. Let me know what y'all think about me reacting to some Ray Williams Johnson. If you want more of this, if you want more food video, any type of content that you guys want me to react to, just let me know in the comment section, right? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.